Good morning. Good morning. This morning I was putting on my sandals and I got to laughing, thinking to myself, I bought these sandals about a month ago for me to wear while I was in Greece. I needed some comfortable shoes and I knew it was going to be really hot. So I went out looking for these sandals and they were a bit more than I really wanted to pay. So I have these pricey sandals, and what made me smile though was I didn't buy the sandals so much because they were comfortable. I really bought them because they had Velcro. I'm serious, they had Velcro. So instead of having to buckle or tie my shoes, I had shoes that you could just snap. It only makes sense to you if you're my age. But why am I telling you that? Because when I was putting on those sandals this morning, I was laughing to myself because I remember a time when I would have had to go to Payless. They don't even exist anymore, I don't think. But I would have had to go to Payless to buy my shoes. And I would have been looking for the cheapest shoes I could find. I wouldn't be looking for shoes that were comfortable or shoes that had Velcro. I'd just be looking for the cheapest shoes that would cover my feet. You know, God has brought me from a mighty, mighty long way. And that got me to thinking more. I remember a time many years ago when my husband and I were homeless. We were sleeping in our car. And now today I sit in front of you and I'm sitting in this beautiful office. I sit in a house with more bedrooms and bathrooms than he and I could use. God has brought me from a mighty long way. And then I think about the sicknesses and illnesses I have gone through over the years. My mother tells me the story of me being born and them not expecting me to live. I remember being in a bad car accident about 15 years ago. They still don't know how I got out of that car alive. But here I am. God has brought me a mighty, mighty long way. And then I think about last year. I was so depressed that I wanted to kill myself. I was so depressed, so in darkness that I could not see a way. And here I am today. God has brought me from a mighty, mighty long way. Saints, we all have things that we are going through, that we've been through, that we will go through. But sometimes you need to stop and you need to look back and you need to see where God has brought you from. Because like me, I know God has brought you from a mighty long way. And we forget this. And sometimes when we forget this, it causes us to turn from God. But instead of turning from God during those times of suffering, during those times of need, we need to look back and see where he brought us from. God has brought me from a mighty long way. God has blessed me over the years, and I sometimes forget. And I know it sounds silly, but when I was looking at those shoes this morning, these sandals that I could afford without worrying, I realized God had brought me from a mighty long way. And you know something, in Philippians, let me read Philippians 4:12 to you. It says, I know what it is to be in need, and I do. I was homeless. And I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. And what is that secret, saints? That secret is Christ Jesus. Because in verse 13, he goes on to say, we can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens us. So whatever you're going through, you have Christ on your side and you will make it through. And maybe this morning, instead of complaining, instead of being in despair, you need to look back and see where God has brought you from. Because I don't know about you, but God has brought me from a mighty, mighty long way. So today, you know what I'm going to encourage you to do? I'm going to encourage you to Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer. From Romans 12:12. Because if you do those three things, you too will recognize and realize that God has brought you from a mighty, mighty long way. Be blessed.